Clare Daly, who has 3 minutes.
Thanks very much, Corla. And I think the fact that we've had so many deputies competing to come in on the discussion today is reflective of the fact that actually everybody takes the matter incredibly seriously. And I think there's a huge contradiction, really, around the silence that surrounds legalised opioids, which make billions for pharmaceutical companies, drugs like Lariam, which are legal and do enormous damage, and the queasiness that exists around the legalisation of cannabis, which is safe and which is non-addictive and has been proven to have huge medicinal benefits. Now, I don't need to be convinced of the hypocrisy that surrounds this issue. There are arguments that I've made many times before. And as one of only 8 deputies who supported the bill of former Deputy Luke Ming Flanagan to legalise cannabis in all circumstances, I obviously support, therefore, the use of cannabis in medical circumstances also. But I think we have to be honest. That's not what this debate is about before us today. What this debate is about is how do we make cannabis accessible and available in the quickest time frame possible to our citizens who so desperately need it. And I'm mindful that we sat here almost a year ago and people who are desperate for that treatment were led to believe that it could be granted like a wave of a hand, that within a couple of weeks, if we pass this legislation through second stage, that will be all sorted out. That didn't happen. And if this happens, that as a result of today and maybe some games that are being played today, that we've another year and we're still in the same situation, well, that will be a scandalous betrayal of people who need this treatment. Now, I reject some of the analysis of the Health Committee in their analysis of the bill. I've read their report, I read People Before Profit's reply. What I'd have to say, the qualms by the committee around the potential side effects, the need for more peer-reviewed research and so on, were not reasons to not advance this bill. There were plenty of ways which the committee could have advanced those issues. But I also accept the points that have been made that this legislation is deeply flawed. That's just a fact. I wish it were not so, but that's the way it's been drafted. There's been fundamental problems with it in its present form, and they need to be addressed, or else we're just lying to people in the gallery and outside. I don't think that the reason why this bill has been delayed is because of some plot to delay the legalisation of medicinal cannabis. I do, however, believe that maybe civil servants who are slow at responding to things have used poor drafting in order to delay it, which shouldn't have happened. So the purpose today really is to move this issue forward. Now, Health Committee, the last point, Count Corla, talked about making access more readily available through secondary legislation or so on. My own belief is, in order to force whatever mechanism to make that delivered through secondary legislation or whatever, I don't care, but that this bill should remain on the statute books, go to the committee stage to keep the pressure on that, so we're not here in a year's time in the same situation.
Johnson.